Namaste YouTube, welcome to Cafe Enoma and welcome to our reaction to twin songs in one video. And the first one that we are going to react to is Gilbert O'Sullivan's Nothing Rhymed. This is a Patreon request by our patron Vicky, and this is the first time ever that we are going to react to Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and after that we'll be reacting to a song by Jim Croce.
Jim Croce, yeah.
Yeah, Croce.
Croce.
Yeah. And should be interesting. I am not aware if there's any connection between these two songs, but it seems like both are senior artists, and Jim Croce we know has already passed away. So may his soul rest in peace. It is going to be a first time single take honest reaction by both of us, and you can learn more about our channel and us through our Patreon page. The link is in the description box of this video.
Yes.
Having said that, let's get started right away.
If I give up the seat I've been saving to some elderly lady or man, am I being a good boy? Am I your pride and joy? Mother, please, if you please, say I am. And if while in the course of my duty I perform an unfortunate tape, would you punish me so unbelievably so? Never again will I make that mistake. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to belong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. When I'm drinking my Bonaparte shandy, eating more than enough apple pies, will I glance at my screen and see real human beings starved to death right in front of my eyes? Nothing old, nothing new, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than you, nothing older than time, nothing sweeter than wine, nothing physically, recklessly, hopelessly blind, nothing I couldn't say, nothing why, cause today, nothing rhyme. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to belong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. Nothing good, nothing bad, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than you, nothing older than time, nothing sweeter than wine, nothing physically, recklessly, hopelessly blind, nothing I couldn't say, nothing why, cause today, nothing rhymed.
Wow, what a beautiful performance, what a beautiful voice. Amazing, I loved it. What about you, Kirti?
Me too, I loved it, I loved it. This was a pure bliss.
And very, very hard-hitting lyrics. Some of the best set of lines I've heard in a song in a very long time.
Wow, yeah, this is a masterpiece. It sounds like a masterpiece. It can be called a classic.
Yeah, and very simple music.
Very beautiful.
Very, very simple music, classical instruments used, and it just personifies, glorifies the vocals of this wonderful singer. So yeah, I loved it. It's a 10 on 10 for the vocals, 10 on 10 for the music. And let's check out the lyrics, and it should be interesting to see what it is all about. Anything you'd like to share about how you felt listening to it?
I loved it. I loved it. I didn't know what to expect from Nothing Rhymed, Gilbert O'Sullivan, and this was a pure bliss. This is one of those songs, those reactions where I am literally wowed the second the song begins. The voice of the singer was so beautiful, so natural and smooth flowing. There's something about the voice that is very, very likable and very genuine, very natural to sing. There was no tricks played, there was nothing to try and impress people. It was simple singing, it was beautiful singing, it was soulful singing, but very hard-hitting singing. It leaves a mark on you once you listen.
Yeah, the genuine musicians, the real musicians
Who know their talent.
always just stand and deliver. In this case, sit and deliver.
Yeah.
Let's go through the lyrics now, because we may not have time if we don't
We don't
go through it right now.
rush.
It's very hard hitting, that's why I want to spend time on it. Perhaps we can add some value, perhaps we can share our own perspective.
Yeah.
If I give up the seat I've been saving to some elderly lady or man, am I being a good boy? Am I your pride and joy? Mother, please, if you're pleased, say I am.
Wow.
And if while in the course of my duty, I perform an unfortunate take, would you punish me so, unbelievably so? Never again will I make that mistake. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. So these are the talks, about what is going on, about a way, the manner in which a person lives their life. It starts with the boy and the mother. If he does some good deeds, some small little good deeds, will the mother be proud of him? Will the mother feel he's a good boy? So that's what taken up in the first few lines. Then if while I work,
vice versa.
while I work I make an unfortunate mistake or something wrong, would you punish me? Would you do something to hurt me? Maybe. Never again will I make that mistake. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. So probably if he's punished, he may not make the mistake again, but it's also about a choice, whatever you do. If it's right, if it's wrong, it's your choice at the end of the day. Something like that, maybe. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. Kirti, what do you have to say about these opening lines of this song? Anything?
It's just human. If I do good things, will I be appreciated? And if I do something wrong, I know I will be punished, and I know I will remember that forever. It's just kind of talking about how human nature is, I feel.
Yeah, in the second verse we come with a realistic comparison once again. When I'm drinking my Bonaparte shandy, eating more than enough apple pies, will I glance at my TV screen, I'm assuming, and see real human beings starved to death right in front of my eyes?
Yeah.
Nothing old, nothing new, nothing ventured. These set of lines I really love.
Yeah, they were good.
Nothing old, nothing new, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing still born or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than youth, nothing older than time, nothing sweeter than wine. A lot of realities, a lot of wisdom
yeah.
in these lines. These lines are just amazing by itself. Just listening to them is something so hard-hitting, so realistic, so meaningful, so thought-provoking. Where do you start and where do you end talking about each of these lines? Nothing physically, recklessly, hopelessly blind. Nothing I couldn't say, nothing why caused today, nothing rhymed.
Wow.
Any of these lines connected with you? Anything you'd like to shed light on?
Dude, all these lines, all these comparisons make all the sense in the world. They exactly are the way things are. The way all those things are. And again, coming back to nothing rhymed. I'm not sure where he's trying to get, where exactly the beginning and the end is supposed to be. I'm still finding it difficult to understand.
Basically, here it's a little bit clearer to me because he's kind of trying to give both sides of the story. Sometimes a good deed, sometimes a mistake. Sometimes you're living the good life, but what do you feel when you see images on TV that disturb you of poor
That is
people,
true, yeah.
hungry people?
While they're having a great life here, on the other side, a lot of people are starving to
Yeah,
death.
so today nothing rhymed. Basically, what he's trying to say is today nothing really rhymed. You know, when you actually see both sides of the picture, the realities are
There's
so
a
much.
great imbalance.
The realities are so much greater than what you, however poetic and romantic or anything you want to be as a songwriter, as a poet, as a lyricist. Ultimately, when you see the reality, nothing rhymes. Nothing rhymes because you know that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So to rhyme it is a difficult job. I guess that is something that I interpret
Yeah,
as what he's trying to
that
say.
is right. There is no real balance between the things. There is no comparison. There is nothing that you can actually put together and say they all are equal. There is no equality.
Yeah, we'll just take the last few lines before the same thing more or less repeated.
Yeah.
This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. So once again, this is repeated, and then we again have that nothing good, nothing bad, nothing ventured, nothing gain, and so on. There's a lot of thought put into writing this
Yeah,
song.
definitely.
It's a short song, a very short performance. It's more or less the same thing repeated once more. But every line is so important. You can,
It's philosophical.
nothing further than proof. I mean, any industry, any walk of life, proof is what matters. Whether it's a law, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a job. You can't say you've done a job unless there's proof that you've done it. A simple example. But then that's how it's written. It's written so simply, but then it applies to almost everything in life. The same way, nothing wilder than youth. There's no denying that all across the world, the wildest time of most human beings is their youth. The older you get, you tend to sober up, you tend to be more responsible, you tend to slow down. Maybe health-wise, maybe the growing older with grace doesn't seem that easy. So there are a lot of things that possibly stop you. So every line over here has a lot of meaning.
By the way, these sets of words and lines, those small lines, nothing older than time, nothing wilder than youth, sound like a bit of reference of Bhagavad Gita as well. A lot on these lines about reality, about life, about existence, about philosophy is been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, and they sound the way it is written. They sound a bit like that.
What we'll do is we'll start with the next song right away, and if we have time, we'll give a rating. I hope we do after listening to it and analyzing it.
The Hard Way Every Time
CROCE.
by Jim CROCE. Jim CROCE we have heard before. At least a couple of songs we have reacted to.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
this would be a nice one. The
Yeah,
Hard-
let's get started, Kirti,
Yes.
with our first time single take honest reaction to this one as well.
You've had my share of broken dreams and more than a couple of falls. And in chasing what I thought were moonbeams, I have run into a couple of walls. But in looking back at the places I've been, the changes that I've left behind, I just look at myself to find learn the hard way every time. Cause I've had my share of good intentions and I made my share of mistakes. And I've learned at times it's best to bend, cause if you don't, well, those are the breaks. Should have listened to all the things I was told, but I was young and too proud at the time. Now I look at myself to find learn the hard way every time. looking back at the lessons I've learned from the mountains I wanted to climb, I just look at myself to find I learn the hard way every time. 'Cause I've had my share of broken dreams and more than a couple of falls, and in chasing what I thought were moonbeams, I've run into a couple of walls. But in looking back at the faces I've been, I would sure be the first one to say, when I look at myself today, wouldn't have done it any other way.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa. One great song and then
After
one
another.
more.
Yes.
One more. Two in a row. Great.
This is a great reaction set.
Yeah, great request by Vicky.
Yeah.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. A lot of thought put into it. Phenomenal choices. Great taste in music, great
Yeah,
taste in
yeah.
song lyrics. Wow,
Awesome.
I always love when lyrics of songs are meaningful, relevant to my life and also to the life of others I know. And this is the perfect song to, mention that. If I have to give an example of what I'm talking about, as far as thought-provoking lyrics are concerned, relevant lyrics are concerned, this would be it. This would be it. So it's a very simple song once again, very simple music, very simple style of singing,
Yeah.
straightforward,
Straightforward.
off the bat, beginning to end, singing and done with. Short song, but in this short song, so much value, so much great wisdom in the lyrics. What are your thoughts, Kirti?
I loved it from the first line to the last line. And that simplicity, the straightforwardness you're talking about, that is evident. There are, different types of music and different kinds of musicians. The way they approach is always different. But these two musicians that we just heard, at least in these two songs, have a straightforward approach towards their song, towards their music. And the simplicity that they portray through their music is just childlike. It's just plain, simple, beautiful.
Yeah.
I just like the way he sang this. I like the way the music was playing, beautiful guitar playing, a little bit of violin. Even in the last song, that was one chord that I can connect, that there was violin here, there was violin. Musically, I would say a little bit similarity. But there the music was a bit better. Here the music was good to go with the voice.
Yeah. Just trying to find something.
Okay.
What I can do is we can start reading through the lyrics,
Yeah.
because I think I may have something interesting to share or give my analysis as well as Kirti.
Okay.
Yeah, the first line. Yeah, I've had my share of broken dreams and more than a couple of falls. Who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
And in chasing what I thought were moonbeams, I've run into a couple of walls. But in looking back at the places I've been, the changes that I've left behind, I just look at myself to find I've learned the hard way every time. Kirti, if you can just give it your take on this before I, share something.
Yeah. These are as simple as it goes in the lines of the song. Who doesn't have broken dreams? Who doesn't have disappointments? Who hasn't gone through failures in life? Each time that you try, it doesn't have to be a successful trial. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you go through it. So he's talking about all of those things. Each time that I've fallen, each time that I've tried something, I've always come to learn something, at least by what I've tried. And I've learned one thing at the end, that things haven't come easily to me. Some people actually are very lucky in life, only a few. And when you see, you feel bad for yourself, especially when you have had the hard way to get at everything. I've always felt I've got things the hard way. And when I see certain people just get it, I just don't get it. I don't get it myself. What is going on? Why does that happen? But there is a different satisfaction once you reach after that hard way to the point where you were supposed to be. That satisfaction, that happiness is way beyond those people who get it easily.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who are the songwriters of these songs, but I couldn't get it, unfortunately, very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just continue with our take on the lyrics
Okay.
for now, and hopefully someone can share that in the comments.
Yeah.
Because whoever the songwriter is, whether it's the musicians themselves or someone they know or a professional, they definitely deserve an award if they're still alive, and even if they aren't.
These are
alive,
thought-provoking lyrics.
These are songs about life. It reminds me about old Hindi movies or
Yeah,
Bollywood
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Because almost every movie of a top star would have very, very meaningful
Very, very meaningful.
songs with thought-provoking, relevant lyrics about life,
Everyday
love,
life, yeah.
and everything in between. The same goes in these two songs. It tells you so much about life. You know, no matter what you do, who you are, you may be the richest person in the world, you may be the poorest person in the world, or anywhere in between, the middle class. No matter who you are, what you do, which age group you fall into, you know, you take an example of a baby. They learn to walk by falling, by crawling, by falling.
Trial and error.
Yeah, by trial and error. They fall on their knees a zillion times probably on their way to walking smoothly on their 2 feet without any support.
Yeah.
So it does take trial and error, and how relevant is that here? Similarly, for a person, a senior citizen, a person who's much older than a baby, say in their 70s, what happens? Obviously, the health may not be as good as when you're young, in your 20s and 30s. So what happens? Once again, there are issues with getting around, moving around, doing simple things. Even changing a shirt becomes an ordeal. You know, taking a shower becomes a big ordeal. Every little thing that you do, physically at least, and mentally too, because mentally you may start losing your memory, or your memory may get weaker as you age. So this is something that's really important. It's relevant to anybody. It's hard.
It's hard.
Whether a baby is crawling towards walking,
Or
that is hard.
end of
As
your
well
life
as a
too.
senior citizen
Yeah.
struggling to get through the day without breaking a limb. You know, I mean, let's look at it the hard.
I know. The hard way. The
Yeah,
hard way.
getting through the day without an issue. Let's put it
You
in
know,
a
the
simpler
best
way.
part was the second two lines. And in chasing that, what I thought were moonbeams, I have ran into the wall. That happens mostly when you are, the mid phase of your life, when you're focused on your career, when you're chasing your goals, when you're chasing your dreams. Sometimes you really think this is promising. The work, this project that I'm working on, or this company I'm working for, or this business that I have started, it looks like gold mine, or an investment that you have planned and you have chosen after a thorough investigation, after all the feasibility checks and everything. You feel like this is the ultimate thing that I wanted to achieve in my life, and very often it turns out to be after reaching there, you realize it was just a hollow thing and it didn't give me what I needed. So that happens a lot of times.
Let's go through the rest of the lyrics
Yeah.
and save our summary or anything else for later now. Because I've had my share of good intentions and I've made my share of mistakes. And I've learned at times it's best to bend. Because if you don't, well, those are the breaks. Really important to be flexible in life, isn't it?
Best of
Should have listened to all the things I was told, but I was young and too proud at the time. This is like describing me when I was young. I was told a lot of good things. I was very fortunate to come from a very big family, a big support system at home, as well as, in school, great teachers. Everything was going for me. A great church to learn a lot from Sunday Mass and even any festival masses, occasion masses, special occasions.
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate, but what happened, I was too young, I was too proud, I had a big ego. My head was in the clouds perhaps. I thought, why Why do I need to listen to all these people who are giving me all this advice and suggestions to live a better life or, reach my goals or do the right thing when I grow older, as far as work goes, as far as the way I live my life. But I took most of it for granted. The only person I really heard was my mother, and fortunately I heard her a lot because I loved her so much, and I felt that she actually connected with me very well, more than anyone else in the world. So I listened to her, and thankfully I listened to one person, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I had not listened to her wisdom, her teachings and everything else. So now I look at myself to find I learn the hard way every time. But in looking back at the lessons I've learned and the mountains I wanted to climb, I just look at myself to find I've learned the hard way every time. Because I've had my share of broken dreams, and it basically goes through it, the similar lines. So, we connect with all these lines. I think everyone can connect with all these lines. I just gave a couple of examples. If I had a lot of more time for this reaction, I'm sure both of us could give 101 examples easily. And that's the beauty of the lyrics.
Of
not
such
that
songs,
we
not
have
our wisdom.
too much wisdom or knowledge in between our ears, though we may have a lot. But the fact is, this is a great song. These are the kind of songs I love to react to. Because it's not just about the reaction, the physical reaction. It's more about how we add value to it. What have we gained from it? And what can we share out of our learnings from this song at that moment, when it's fresh in our memory, when it's live. You go to a motivational seminar, say Anthony Robbins, you hear an audiobook of his, or you read the first 10 pages of his book, Awaken the Giant Within. You read the first 10 pages and you're pumped up. All of a sudden you say, this is great. I know now what I have to do with my life. But the fact is, what happens? Suddenly other things come in, you have to do other jobs, you have to leave that book aside. Sometimes it takes a long while to get back to the book and start from the 11th page. And then sometimes people never finish books. The statistics reveal that more than 80% of the books that are bought are never read cover to cover. Which means that people don't finish. 8 out of 10 people do not finish a book that they start reading. How odd is that? But that's a realistic statistic, I think, in my own life too. I have managed to read more books than most people I know. But the fact is, yes, these things are relevant. If you don't apply them, there's a lot of wisdom in this song as well as the earlier song. If you do not apply that wisdom, what use is it? What use is the reaction? If you do not add value, if you just say, wow, it's a great song and I love listening to it and great voice and great music and that's it. This is way beyond that. We just can't end a reaction without actually analyzing the lyrics with our own skill set, our own talents, our own experience and our own educational background and culture. And that's what we try and do within the time frame, of course. As I said, if we have the time, we would definitely go on and on and on. But for now, let's get to the ratings. First 10 second song, very quickly. The first song, 10 on 10 for everything.
Yeah.
The second song, let's make it easy, 10 on 10 for everything.
Wow. That says
Maybe the music, 9.5 on 10.
Yeah, for the second.
Yeah, but otherwise 10 on 10 for both songs. What about you, Kirti?
I love the songs. I would say the same thing. I agree with you. Ditto, copy, paste. One thing I would like to end this reaction with for the second song. After having read the lyrics, after having heard him and listened to him, one thing that stands out is at least you know the mistakes that you made. At least you know where you are today. At least you know the times when you were wrong. That is more important for the future journey.
Yeah, and thanks to YouTube and our patrons for making all this possible, because YouTube is the platform that ultimately provides all this.
Yeah.
There's a good and bad on every platform, and so too with YouTube. The good is that you find songs like that to listen to react to on your smartphone.
And to enrich your life.
And to share whatever we discussed in this with you. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.